Welcome everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything but actually we know nothing. This week, of course, is Valentine's Day. How else would we start a Valentine's Day special other than with a poem to summarize last few weeks of Premier League? Roses are red, violets are blue, Newcastle are flying, Kurt Zuma's cat too. So
oh my god.
You write it yourself.
We'll start, of course, with the January transfer window. Many different football clubs, of course, went out to shop. No other club shopped as much and as desperately as Newcastle. Luckily, we have Newcastle fan Manjun here to, of course, gloat over his team's 3 consecutive wins. Chelsea fan Robin, of course, now champions of the world as well. Liverpool fan Imran. We didn't think Liverpool would be very active in the transfer window, but they went ahead and stole a transfer from Spurs. I myself, Mark, I'm a very really Fulham fan. We managed to keep Fabio Carvalho from Liverpool. Was this an ideal transfer window for Newcastle?
I think given the circumstance, it was the best, yeah. I think it's the best case scenario you can ever get. But then, okay, honestly, some of the transfers, they took me by surprise. Like, I didn't expect them to come in, like Dan Burn.
Okay.
Like, I remember I always roast him, especially that game against Wolves. That we fucking roasted him, then he came to Newcastle. So not the best impression I had of Dan Burn. But then the Brazilian guy, the Bruno Guimaraes, I haven't seen him play. Like, he's the one I'm most excited about.
Okay.
But no idea why that they didn't play him. Like Joe Willock is playing ahead of him. Like you can see, it's very effective. 3 games and we are safe. So I think it's a perfect transfer window.
Do you feel that there's any position that you feel went unfulfilled?
My hope was that we sign another winger, like a fast-paced winger, someone to bring the offense. But then, because I don't think you can rely on Ryan Fraser too much. You can't rely solely on ASM. So maybe there's a bit of a con, maybe a sad thing from the transfer window, but I think we will still do fine. Yeah, because our defense really shot up, I feel. Like, we only considered 1 goal in the last 3 games.
Like, I don't know, their signings when they were coming in weren't that inspiring, I feel. Like, not a lot of hype. But I can't really blame them because like all the hype players want to come to Newcastle. So they have to overpay for like more of the normal players. Just curious as to what changed. Like, did the new signings change things, or was it just the team as a whole become better?
Actually, I would think it didn't really change much. I think most of it is Eddie Howe. Like statics. Yeah, I think if Steve Bruce was here when he brought in Trippier, I think there'll be no use. Like, he'll be like another, I can't think of any lousy fullback now, but he'll be just like a Jamal Lewis or
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, we can say that now because there's no Man U fan here.
I think the only exciting one is the Bruno guy, who's quite a surprise signing. I'm surprised he was willing to move here. Because at least I've heard of his name before, so it means he's somewhat of a wonder kid last time.
Yeah,
FM, is it?
He must
Maybe,
be. Yeah. So surprised that he went to Newcastle, but quite excited to see where he goes.
I think more or less the relegation race is more or less done. We'll discuss that a bit later also. But it looks like, unfortunately, title race done, relegation race done. All that's left is to see who finishes fourth. But in terms of like the top 4 teams, some of them had a very trying window. One of those is Spurs. Of course, they tried to go for Luis Diaz. It looked as if the transfer was almost done. Liverpool came in and stole him from under their noses. Apparently, they sent the medical team to Argentina, very dramatic and all that. I think Imran would probably say before the transfer window, there wasn't any positions that you desperately needed to strengthen. Is this a good signing for Liverpool?
From what little I've seen, he seems like quite a skillful player. And he's also like, I think maybe the fastest player on the team now, according to, I don't know what, they have like all the top speed measurements. And his is like faster than all our front 3. So it's a good addition. And then you can see from his skills, like his dribbling skills, all that, really quite exciting. And then it gives us like, I guess, a different like option to send on. And I think for the first, not first time, but it's like one of the few times where you look at Liverpool and you can say like, oh, actually our squad is like quite stacked now. Like even on the bench is like you have capable backup, because at the start of the season it's always how Chelsea and Man U and Man City have like good benches, and then Liverpool have like a good front 11 but not a lot of backup. Which was obviously proven wrong because we managed to handle this month without Mane and Salah. And then now we get Diaz in, and then Jota is like flying, so it's like everything's perfect.
Okay. So, I mean, a lot of other shows on YouTube have always have been asking the very basic question, who is your preferred Liverpool front 3? We are also a basic football show without the audience. Mane and Salah, definitely, I think most Liverpool fans would say. But is it still Firmino through the middle?
I think it pains me to say this because I think Firmino has always been like my favourite player out of the front 3 or maybe even the whole Liverpool squad. Like I just like the way he plays, but he hasn't been doing well recently, and like I think Jota deserves the starting spot now. He's like right up there on the goal scorer charts with Salah. So I think that itself is like proof that he's flying.
Okay, and going forward, do you see Luis Diaz maybe, say for example, Salah signs a new contract? Do you see him like dislodging either Mane or Salah in the starting level?
I think Mane, yes, because like yes, he has been good for us, but I don't know, like watching him play can be a bit frustrating at times. He's like not the most clinical player. So his shots, a lot of it always like go haywire, or I don't know lah. But then again, sometimes watching Salah play can be a bit frustrating too. But the thing about Salah is like no matter how frustrating, he can still like pop a goal out from nowhere lah, even if he's having a bad day. Mane is a bit like up and down lah. Like last season you saw that was like this very long period where he wasn't doing well, right? And then like all the shows or pundits are like saying like, oh, like is it like is he like declining or something like that? So I mean he has his times to come back, but in this case it's good to rotate him with Diaz lah, like see who doing better than play who.
Arsenal were supposed to have a great transfer window and all that. They didn't sign anyone. They didn't sign Dusan Vlahovic. Of course, he went to Juventus. I mean, most people would choose Juventus over Arsenal. Then they sold a few of their youngsters. I guess they're not young anymore. Maitland-Niles, Chambers, Pablo Mari.
You missed the biggest player from Arsenal leaving, eh?
Aubameyang. Correct, that's true.
Okay.
But that's true. Aubameyang also left Arsenal.
Just how comical the whole thing is, lor. It's like the part where he flies down to Barcelona, then he tell people he's there for like holiday with his family. Like damn weird.
I just think he's a good salesperson. He know how to promote himself.
You got to pay cut.
You can just knock on the door of your company, please sign me. But I think it's an upgrade, to be honest, for him and Barcelona. This is how low Barcelona have become. Yeah, but I think it's an upgrade for them.
I mean,
Overlook De Jong.
Even Adama Traore is an upgrade there. So.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, what a front three at Barcelona. I think Barcelona now have two of Middlesbrough's former front three, Adama Traore and Martin Braithwaite.
Wow. Middlesbrough, the OG like scouting gang. But I think Aubameyang, it's like a win-win for Barcelona, I guess. For both the player and Barcelona. And I guess Arsenal's
But Arsenal got sold him but he left for free, right? Is it?
He left for free and Arsenal.
Left, right?
And Arsenal still have to pay him to terminate the contract.
Yeah, I think
or something like that. He has like 6 months remaining, and then they have to pay him like half of it or something. Which is just stupid. And then they were saying how they're gonna get Vlahovic in. Then he got stolen by Juventus. So they have like, other than Lacazette, they don't have like a senior striker left.
Who could they have gotten in the first place, right? I think their options are quite limited to start with. So and they don't want to anyhow buy just some random guy who's available. Then later he cannot gel in the Premier League, then leads to a lot more problems. So I think it's safer not to buy anybody and trust that Arteta has somewhat of a plan somehow that only he knows. But I think it's a good step that they got rid of some deadweight, like Honda, Pablo Mari, whoever else, and of course Aubameyang, definitely deadweight right now. So I think it's more important you get rid of this toxic members of the squad. Then keep building. Arsenal is a permanent rebuild team.
Yeah, and they I don't know, their fans always overrate their own players so much. Like when Maitland-Niles or whoever want to leave, right, then they were like, wow, like why he's so good, why you want to like keep him, this kind of thing. And like, what the hell, man? He hasn't even done anything.
In terms of first transfers, they were of course linked to Liverpool's Luis Diaz. In the end, they ended up getting Bentancur and Kulusevski in a double deal from Juventus.
I just feel these are very Spurs level transfers. Like they are good for like a top 6 team, probably a top 8 team. But then I don't think it changes anything for Spurs, to be honest. Actually, I think it's a blessing that Luis Diaz didn't go to Spurs. And not, I think he'll be screwed up there.
Okay.
For some reason, because it's Spurs. I think decent signings. I think they probably can get top 7 if these 2 signings, I think. No issue.
A lot of confusion on Mark's face.
I mean, to be fair, I think without these 2 signings, they'll probably also get top 7. But
yeah, that's why. It doesn't swing the needle, to be honest. It doesn't really move the needle.
So in terms of Dele Alli's move to Everton, is this a good transfer for both sides?
Not really. I mean, Dele Alli, like he had a bit of, he had a lot of hype when he burst onto the scene, I think. But after that, it was only just that 1 or 2 seasons, right? And then even during the later years of like Pochettino's reign, he was already faltering. And then he just hasn't gotten his career back since. And he has been, like almost 5 years already?
Has it been that long?
Maybe not.
Maybe around there.
2-2, 2-1, 2-0, 19, around there.
Okay, yeah. I think they're getting quite old also. But okay,
yeah. Since the Champions League final, he has been downhill ever since. And I don't think Everton is the place to revive his career because Everton themselves are also sinking. So it's like the player drowning already, then he like get on the sinking ship. Then like I don't know. So I don't think it will make much of a difference to Everton especially. I don't think he's like a major upgrade on. I don't know who their front players are now. It's still Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. So like I don't know. It's a bit of a meh thing.
Okay. Of course, speaking of Everton, there were two new managers who rejoined the Premier League. Of course, it was Frank Lampard in as manager at Everton. Of course, Roy Hodgson in at Watford. We'll talk about Frank Lampard first. Of course, this must be good news for Robin. He's found a new second club.
I'm happy for him. It's a nice place to be right now. I feel like there's no pressure just because they've fallen so far down. It's almost like the only way he could go is up. Considering, Rafa Benitez's tactics also not very inspiring. But yeah, I think I'm very happy for Lampard. I'm curious to see how far he takes Everton to. It seems like a very his level type of club right now, based on his managerial skill. So Everton is a good place for him. But I think his test will be next year, obviously. So I'm just only confused like why they signed Dele Alli, since you were talking about it. I really don't know where he fits. But I think Donny van der Beek was a nice move. Potentially very, very good for Everton. But Dele Alli is the strange one because I really don't know what's his value anymore.
It was a little bit of a weird situation there. I think it was when they were choosing their next manager. It looked like it was going to be Vitor Pereira of Portuguese league fame. And then suddenly the Everton fans came out and I don't know. To me, it felt a bit random that they had such strong feelings against Vitor Pereira, saying that they're going to protest and all that kind of thing. They say they want Lampard as manager. I don't really know why.
To be honest, I'm also a bit confused. I feel like they are more in love with the name on paper of Frank Lampard than anything else. He could get them relegated. Actually, I don't agree with Robin. I think he's under a lot of pressure. Look at where the hell are in the table now. So, I mean, maybe he doesn't have next year to even try. Maybe next year is his level or championship level.
Yeah. Robbie was like, no pressure now, but
if they end up in 17th place, will he still be there end of the season? You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah. I think he just needs to survive.
Yeah.
Playing decently, that's all.
Yeah, but he was saying he didn't want to be in a relegation battle when he didn't take the Norwich job, but looks like he's going to be in a relegation battle.
I think the squad is too good to be relegated.
Well, we've heard that story many times before.
Yeah.
They are 1 point above Newcastle, so touching distance.
Actually, I think I was thinking it was quite an interesting thing. I mean, of course, people are naturally going to compare Frank Lampard to Steven Gerrard. Even in their playing days, many Chelsea fans and Liverpool fans did. I'm sure there's a lot of people looking at their managerial careers the same way also. I think most people would say Aston Villa are a club on their up. And I think, I mean, of course, you can never really manage your career, but it seems as if Steven Gerrard is doing a better job at managing his career. Like, he's going to Rangers, won a few trophies there, go to a mid-table club in Aston Villa, and then, sort of an audition to see if he can maybe step up to Liverpool. It seems like Frank Lampard could possibly be doing the opposite. Like he started off with the dream job at Chelsea. Yes, unfortunate to get the sack, but now he's going to a mid-table club at Everton. And, like Manjun says, if it all goes tits up there, I don't know. Like, is he going to have a managerial career to talk about after that or not?
Championship, can join Rooney. I don't know.
Do you see Frank Lampard ever managing Chelsea again?
Chelsea again, I don't think so. It'll be very, very difficult. I feel like if they want to go for this romanticism, they will go for John Terry next really instead of Frank Lampard. Yeah, I just don't think it will end well again if Lampard comes back.
Okay give him 10 years. Maybe in 10 years, like he do very well with Everton, right? Then he bring Everton into the top 4, then you see Then Chelsea is like...
Maybe let him win at another league first. Maybe go win some La Liga, Serie A, some shit.
I think Lampard will be like Gary Neville. Just fail everywhere, end up being a pundit.
Gary Neville only failed at one place, but okay.
Yeah, failed terribly at one place can now.
Yeah. Okay, but to be fair, I mean, it's always going to be difficult. Gary Neville doesn't even speak Spanish. Some people don't even think he speaks English, to be honest. So, Newcastle probably have a better chance of staying up more than Everton?
I mean, given the momentum of both clubs, I would think so lah. And Newcastle will on the super high lah. Like what if like by game 30, game 32, they're suddenly like in 18th place? Like what will happen? Like does he get a sack then? Is it too late? Not too sure.
In terms of like the other new manager in the Premier League, Roy Hodgson is back. We all thought he was too old to come back, but you're never too old for a comeback. So he's back at Watford again, in for another survival firefighting job. He's done that previously both at Fulham and at Crystal Palace when both clubs seemed like it was impossible to come back. It does kind of seem a bit like that at Watford, even though they're not quite cut adrift yet. Is this a good appointment for Watford?
No, I don't think so. At least Watford's team don't seem to suit Hodgson's style of play, which is always defense first. I feel like Watford needs to go and attack on it. They got enough exciting players to go and try and outscore. Yeah, so I think this is a very, very bad appointment and very mismatch.
The relegation race already over. Is this bottom three going to be the bottom three?
I think so leh. A bit boring So that's why I was hoping that Everton also get dragged into it. Yeah, that's why I saw Newcastle a bit doing too well for our own good. So
Tempting fate saying this kind of things, but okay.
yeah. So I would think so. I think it's just between the three. Still get the bigger parachute money. That's about it.
The other, I guess, sort of notable transfer was probably Burnley had to spend the Chris Wood money. We were all wondering where they were going to spend it on, and they brought in Wolfsburg's. I think Manjun can correct me on the pronunciation. I'm not sure about this. Wout Weghorst.
Yeah, something like that.
Weghorst. Wow.
Weghorst.
Not bad.
Good guys. Oh my God.
Got them a draw against Man U.
Yeah, he's decent. But he feels like a jerk, like a Bundesliga Chris Wood. Like a Bundesliga Chris Wood.
I guess
Okay.
technically way better than Chris Wood. Chris Wood cannot dribble the ball for shit.
So not like an improved Chris Wood.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very good signing. He moves, his movement was good. I watched, I think the first half, Burnley Liverpool. I think he did decently well. Then against United, I think I saw some highlights. Yeah, he's really not bad. He is a problem to defenses. But I think a bit sad Burnley has already slipped too far back for him to try and save them.
Watford brought in a whole lot of players that we all don't know. So
all come from African Cup of Nations.
Yeah, correct. I mean, speaking of African Cup of Nations, why not?
Who won? Who backed Senegal? Was it England?
Me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't buy anything. So
Can even bet? Got even.
Yeah, Singapore Pools can buy
not sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't know. Don't know if they open.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm quite surprised West Ham didn't buy anybody.
They were linked
to buy a striker.
They were linked to Darwin Núñez, but in the end,
I
think they felt he was too expensive. Then they just didn't buy.
They got Kurt Zuma.
Something that cannot be denied is his kicking skills now.
Oh man!
Came in this window, right? Not at the start of the season, right?
Start of the
season.
Or start not new.
Actually, they kept talking about Kurt Zuma. They never asked how's the cat.
Yeah.
They never know. The cat is fine.
But you think the cat enjoyed it?
The SPCA took the cat already or something.
Yeah, the cat cannot auto take video like Mason Greenwood like that.
So it's Kurt Zuma auto himself.
I guess in terms of Man U, a lot of players having a lot of say about Ralph Rangnick, some saying that the training is too difficult. Do you think players nowadays, have too much say in who they think the manager should be, or like if the manager come in, I don't want to listen? Like, is player power too much?
I think at certain clubs, yes. I don't know if it's just Man U, and I don't know if it's Man U per se. Like, it's only this manager. Actually, no, all the previous managers also got problem with the players since Mourinho. So I think for places like Man U, it's a problem because the players are like paid so much, right? So and they're brought in for so much, so they have a lot of power because the club cannot afford to lose them. But if you are, I guess, a more cohesive team-based setup like Liverpool, it's like one player gone, nobody really cares. Not saying nobody really cares, but they don't have like that sort of like, I don't know what to call it, ego or like the star thing, sort of like, I need to be the center of attention, those kind of things, which you find at Man U.
Yeah. In this case, I guess the easier option is to get rid of the manager. And it's already a planned shifting out of Rangnick. So they just need to be patient. It's not that they are listening to the players, but they already have a plan, or it looks like they have a plan to get someone new at the end of the season. So just be patient for United fans. endure the suffering and the mockery right now because it's just karma lah. I mean,
Okay.
for years they've been laughing at everyone else, so now it's their turn to kena.
Okay, I have to ask Manjun, do you think, it's as simple as, wait until the summer, maybe Pochettino will come in? I mean, apparently he's not very well like at PSG, so it could be that he will be free to come to Man U, and then that's the end of the Man U suffering. Or could it continue even under Pochettino?
I mean, Pochettino also doesn't really seem like also seems like kind of a problematic manager. Like, he goes to PSG, he wants things done his way, even though he got a plethora of superstars. I mean, they probably come Man U, like, what's the difference? He's still superstars in the whole team, so not very sure. But seems like Man U, like, the players prefer a player's coach more than an X and O's coach.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they can get somebody who's better than Ole, but around Ole's age, like Julian Nagelsmann.
Okay, but it's Julian Nagelsmann. I think he is quite an X and O. He was chosen by Ralph Rangnick also at RB Leipzig. So I don't know. I don't think he's quite the player's manager. Does it have to be another ex-Man U player?
Not very sure. I just get the whole gang together, I think.
Job share, all the class of 92 all come back together.
The Ferdinand can be like the defender, the defending coach, somebody be the midfield coach, Scholes can be there, this kind of thing.
Yeah, and like, I mean, at this point, there's like many already tried all the managers already, so you can't say that they're not going to do this or they're not going to do that because they can't do anything already. I think.
But I don't think they want to be run that way.
No, they wanted longevity. That's why they gave David Moyes like a freaking 6 or 7 year contract.
A bit wasted. I mean, who knows, in an alternate universe, maybe David Moyes will be winning titles with Man U. Or who knows, maybe even that might come through in the summer also.
Yeah, when they
come
get
back
him
to
back.
Man U.
Is he still on their payroll or not? If he is, then can ask
still
him.
Still on gardening leave.
Yeah, he's 6 year gardening leave. Oh, damn sure.
In terms of like this upcoming match week 26, there's only one big game. I guess we can start with Man City against Spurs. Do you think there's still a title race going on, even though the point deficit is still the same as before?
Yes, I think so. I think it's more positive from Liverpool because like before that when we were talking about it, they were still a bit stringy, but now they've put on like quite a good run of form. I think it's like 4 game winning streak now, and like a longer undefeated. So like things are looking good from Liverpool's end. You've got a new signing in this transfer window to strengthen the squad, and it's like, and we are not actually that far off. We have 1 game behind City. If we win that 1 game, our next game is against freaking like Norwich, so I would expect us to win that. Then we are like 6 points behind City, and then if you can beat them during like the matchup, then you're 3 points behind. So it's still doable. It's not like impossible, and of course, Man City will have to drop points for them. For us to have a chance, and so I think that's the thing. They don't drop a lot of points, but obviously I hope that they do one way or another.
So will it be this game?
Spurs so shit really recently. I think it's gonna be an easy win for Man City.
I haven't watched any of the games, but then with the reports I read, everything looks quite bleak. I've been worried that they might even slip out of the top 10, but I don't think so, to be honest.
Is the gap really that small for them to drop out of the top 10?
7 points between them and Southampton.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the mid-table this year hasn't been that great. The fact that Southampton can be 10.
So basically nothing's great this season.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I think this season we just end it now. We just start next season already.
Yeah,
then where do all the points go to us?
just everyone give the same points. Settle. Can prorate the last 3 games to form.
There's more equality throughout the squad. I mean throughout the league. So don't have like very big losers and very big winners other than Man City. The rest are like very even.
Yeah, I think it'll be a easy Man City win. 2-0 for them.
Since very long never predicted it, go big a bit. Go for 4-1.
Okay.
1-0 Man City.
The most recent time I watched Man City was of course against Fulham in the FA Cup. It was quite close the first half. I mean, they blew us away in the second half. But, I choose to only look at what I want to see. So we did have that very, very short window of taking the lead against Man City. Less than 1 minute, but you take what you can get. Don't think Spurs will score 2-0 Man City. Okay, we can start with Manjun. he will probably go for the Newcastle game.
Oh, West Ham.
Potentially exciting game.
Actually, even though we have 3 wins, right? But then, to be honest, we're quite lucky. If you watch our games, we're quite lucky to get 3 wins. Except that one against Everton. Again, against Leeds and Aston Villa, I think we're quite lucky. Just kelong, just happen, right momentum, right the luck. Just happen to get the 3 wins. But against West Ham, I don't think so. I think somehow Eddie Howe would play a bit more defensive. 2-1, 2-1 West Ham. Okay, so
I'll go 2-1 also, but West Ham to win, not Newcastle.
Okay.
I think it'll be a draw, it'll be 1-1.
I'm going to go high scoring for this. West Ham 3, Newcastle 2.
I don't know, a fun game could be Leeds United. See what happens there. Both inconsistent teams. I think it could be decently high scoring though. It's just, I think I'm going to say that I think Man U will win this one. They somehow can get against Leeds lah. Yeah, and it's time to see the Sioux celebration again. It's been a while.
I think it has been a while. Cristiano Ronaldo close to tears in the last game against Southampton, because I think this is the longest goalless streak in quite a while.
I think it'll be 3-1.
Then go another 4-1. 4-1 Man U.
4-1 Man U.
I think Man U gonna win, but not very big. I think 2-1.
Kind of surprised to see Southampton suddenly, that win against Spurs. Of course, they picked up the draw against Man U. Now suddenly at top half of the table. Some of us predicted Southampton to go down. I think not in danger of that anymore. I think 1 or 2 chose Southampton.
Yeah, maybe quite close on it. Yeah.
Yeah, can't remember who. Manju, maybe it might be you.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Maybe what if?
I'll go back and check.
You go check the first episode. I don't think it's me.
Okay, in terms of Southampton against Everton, I think another spanner in the works for Frank Lampard. I think he'll lose this game against Southampton. I think we'll go 2-1 Southampton.
I think gonna be a draw, 2-2.
I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Southampton.
I'll go 1-1 draw. To be honest, the only potential upset is the Chelsea one. Maybe.
No
Really?
Now I think Palace have formed quite bad though.
But Chelsea not playing well to be fair. So it could be a bad game.
You want to tell us about the Club World Cup?
I think I watched a bit only. But didn't play well lor. Yeah, really just scraped through a win. Got very lucky. Yeah, it's a very typical Chelsea of late. Scraping through whenever we can. And that's what we should take lah.
Lukaku again with his cryptic messages. Now this time not on Instagram, it's on Snapchat.
Oh, I didn't even see. I don't know that.
Yeah, he's saying something about if you cannot force it or something like that, then it's not going to happen. Something like that.
I guess so lah. His time seems pretty short now lah. This guy, his body language is not very good. Although he scored against those teams, which is good for him, but he didn't really look very happy or any shit like that also lah.
Something fun I saw. People are saying that Kai Havertz is like Chelsea's Divock Origi. Just score during the finals and like the big games, right? But normally never really score a lot.
I'll take that lah. Don't mind.
We can learn from Jolinton. Let's stick him in the central midfield. Then he will be rejuvenated.
Suddenly become centre mid. You think he Alan Smith?
Well, Alan, that's a throwback.
Wow, that's a rare throw name, Alan Smith.
Yeah, man.
It's Alan Smith become striker to become centre mid.
Yeah, dude. And he was decent.
But Alan Smith, I thought it's because he became older, then that's why they dropped him down.
We might as well do the championship update. Nothing much from Fulham in terms of like transfer window. Kind of relief that Fabio Carvalho decided to stay. He's not going to extend the contract, so he's definitely going to leave. I would prefer that he stays rather than go to Liverpool then loan back.
He's a right back.
No, it's attacking mid.
Yeah.
How is he? I don't know.
First you're still Javier, then you're still this guy.
I mean, taken the place of Southampton lah. They used to steal from Southampton, now they're stealing from us.
But this is different. This one is like all the young talent coming up. Then like, if we don't take, they're gonna go somewhere else anyways lah.
Correct lah. That's how it works lah.
Yeah, if we don't take them, probably Southampton take them or like.
I mean, they can stay and be
Aston Villa take them.
Yeah.
Stay and be club legend. I don't know. I mean, in terms of Fabio Carvalho will not watch our show, but cautionary tale. You see what happened to Ryan Sessegnon.
That's different lah. They went to Spurs.
They went to Spurs and got taken off after 25 minutes in the game. But I mean, I think it's a good thing that he stays. Probably, I don't want to tempt fate also, but it looks like our gap is quite big. It looks like we will get promoted. It's just a case of like, okay, if he moves on, we just need to find a replacement after that. But I guess the other teams around us not doing very well. Bournemouth stuttering a little bit. Blackburn's form has fallen off a cliff. It looks like I don't think they'll be coming up already. So although the interesting thing is that West Brom now have dropped to 8th and they've appointed Steve Bruce.
Oh my god.
But I guess further down in League One, Sunderland nearly appointed Roy Keane. England got very excited about that. to see
Yeah.
Roy Keane back in management. Unfortunately, the fairy tale return for Roy Keane didn't come true. They appointed Alex New instead. Yeah, I guess in terms of, I don't know if anybody wants to mention anything else in terms of like the continental league, like Spain, Italy,
Barcelona transfers.
Barcelona transfers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think they'll get top 4 again. I think so.
What do you mean they'll get top 4 again?
It's possible.
Out of nowhere, they sneak it back in again.
Actually, to be honest, right, this should be La Liga's shame. How can you let this kind of Barcelona team get into the top 4?
The new Farmers League is La Liga lah.
Yeah, I mean Atletico kinda wrecked by. I mean, not. I don't know if wreck is like too strong of a word, but they lost to Barcelona.
Yeah.
And apparently they played like damn badly that game.
Real Madrid really running away with the league.
I think they're running away not because they're good, just because
Correct. It's because
bad.
nobody
everyone
else
else-
there.
Everyone else is shit lah.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't even been that different. Right? They didn't really buy a lot of players. They're still using the same few players. They're still having like freaking 36-year-old Luka Modric there.
Okay, actually quite tight. Sevilla second, 4 points behind.
But Sevilla aren't great as well.
Yeah, it's just that everyone else is.
No, I tell you, it's just like, the Premier League top 4 race, right? That is the entire thing in La Liga.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just see who can drop more points.
Actually, their squad looks stacked. I mean, they're on their first 11 lah. Looks quite stacked.
They even got Lamela, holy shit, on the EPL rejects.
Thomas Delaney. Some random English player.
Danish or Danish?
Thomas Delaney is Danish.
Oh, he's Danish. Doesn't sound very Danish.
I think maybe might have escaped Brentford's scouting. The moment they know he's Danish, he'll bring him in as well.
I'll let you all know that S6 starts in 10 days.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Omicron.
We didn't even know it ended, but okay.
Yeah, now they're revealing all the new jerseys for the season.
Okay. Any
Wow.
that catch your fancy?
Worth buying.
No, it's never worth buying. But I think you go watch then sometimes they give out free ones, so you can try out luck.
Hopefully you've enjoyed our run-up of the January transfer window as well as our preview of Match Week 26. In the meantime, even though we know nothing, hopefully today you've learned something. See you. Bye.
Rusty.